Hello everybody, welcome back for some StarCraft 2 action. We got XXIV versus DNS from the Homestory Cup Group A. Homestory Cup 24, DNS going for that early hatchery block on the natural. So we have Elazer, DNS. Previous match we had Fjant and Harstum, and the additional players of Group A, 6 total. Serral and Dolan are all duking it out for the top 2 spots of Group A. Now, some of you might already have a guess of whom is going to take first place in Group A. Serral. So, we have a couple players vying for that top 2, and specifically the second position. We're looking at Elazer for that spot. We're looking at DNS. And third player is Harstum. These 3 players need to beat each other to make it out of this group. So both for Elazer and DNS, they kind of just need to win this match to have a shot at getting second place, or otherwise if they lose this match, they really have to beat Serral. And while there's only a few players in the world that can say they've beaten Serral in a tournament match, so this is an important match for both of them. Seeing PvZ on hard lead, DNS opening standard, and Elazer trying to open standard but does have a misplaced hatchery. Now DNS might try to shade in some adepts and use some oracle harassment to harass this open area between the main and the third base location. It's about 1-2 screens away to get from your main to the third base, so defending both of these bases is obviously harder than having your second base at your natural second base position. Elazer mining gas for speed, probably going to pull out all of his drones once he has 100 gas, and there he goes. Starts up speed because you want that mineral boost to get this third base down at your natural location to connect your second base and your first base with creep ASAP. ASAP. We see Stargate going down from DNS, so standard play so far. Let's see if he goes into the 3 Oracle Twilight Forge follow-up. We do see first Adept out on the map, got chrono boosted. Second one is being chrono boosted out. Probe doesn't go down. He actually didn't see the third base, so in some worlds, against some Zerg players, he would be getting proxy hatched by now. But not Elazer, not in this game. Sadg. Adept walks up into the third base, checks out the drone count, gets a link kill, and still on creep. But the Queen and the Zerglings are here, forcing out 4 more Zerglings. Pretty nice here by DNS. Third base did go down, and we have a creep tumor in the main once again from Elazer, spreading creep all the way throughout his main. That's a very stylistic move by Elazer. Ooh, nice. DNS gets a creep tumor denied. One of the early creep tumors. That's gotta hurt. Another Zergling bites the dust. 2 Zerglings dead already. Now these 2 adepts still alive. First Oracle's now out on the map as well. There's a decent amount of lings on the map, I want to say. 8 lings. And they just tried to go check the third base, but the adepts show their faces. 2 more creep tumors to maybe get killed. Adepts are here. Oh, kind of miss shade. All of the drones are somewhere else. Ooh. And the adepts just get caught. They get cleaned up. Only 2 drone kills. 2 drone kills for 2 adepts. And half your oracle health and all of the energy on that oracle. That's kind of a shitty trade. DNS can't be happy with that. But it's not game ending, but you'd rather see more. At least he didn't lose his oracle. That oracle stays alive to gain more value across the time of this game. More stasis wards, more potential drone kills. Could even deny a 4th base with these 3 oracles if it goes down really early. And you can protect a possible like Blink Stalker follow-up. We've been seeing these Blink Stalker Oracle pushes. Oracles to protect from the Mass Ling that comes out. But we do see an Oracle plus a Forge. So a bit of a late Forge to be an all-in, and he has a third base, obviously. Stasis ward here. DNS. So let's see if he shows us good Stasis Ward play. Oh, I forgot to tell you, but I've already seen this game because I cast it about an hour ago and I didn't record it. So we're doing it again. So I'm going to sound a lot smarter than I am. 5 drones on gas here from Elazer. Holy shit. Do see +1 melee coming out. So he might be flooding some lings here. We do see Roachborn as well, so a Ling Ravager Roach is on the table. 4th base is being put down. Decent creep spread so far, and here you see Elazer is that guy that just creeps his whole main. He's like, nope, there's no War Prism in my main that I can't see and can't defend. Ooh, 6 queens hitting that Oracle from both sides. Oracle just revelates a bunch of drones and goes out. He's obviously looking for... Is there a Spire? Is there an Infestation Pit? Like, what am I playing against? See, 1 Sentry, 2 Adepts here. Bunch of Lings flooding out. And we actually see double Robo here with Robo Support Bay. Probably going to see some Colossus and then maybe into Disruptors. Because first you need the Colossus to protect your army against this mass Ling. Because Disruptors just lose versus mass Ling. You need like a critical mass of units before you can make Disruptors. Oh my god, it gets surrounded here by the Lings. This Sentry actually gets forced out of his little nook by this other Ling. And now 2 Adepts do go down and the Sentry. So nice little attack here by Elazer. Gets into the 3rd base, but the Oracles are here to defend. And minimal losses here by DNS, all things considered. But he did lose... that Sentry, so kinda doesn't have a lot of follow-up potential here because of that, I feel like. How many gates does he have? 4, 5, 6, 7 gates? So decent amount of gates. Double Robo Colossus coming out. And a Twilight Console. So, and a bunch of cannons. DNS is just turtling his ass off. I feel like DNS is never moving out here until he's potentially maxed. Stasis Ward as well. Maybe he sees that Elazer is just making so many units. Elazer is on 80 drones though, so he can afford it. Ooh, nice Zergling sacrifice for that Stasis Ward. 1 pylon did go down to the Ravagers, but it's been rebuilt. No 4th base for DNS because there's a bunch of Zerglings here. And Zerglings, ooh, get swiped, get burned by these quadrupods. These Deathwalkers, or however we should call them. Quadruple Spore Crawlers here to save the drones from this Oracle flyby. And Elazer has a 5th base now as well. Another save versus these Oracles. Elazer is on top of things. We see double Evo now. No Hive just yet, though. And we see a bunch of Colossus, like 3 Colossus already. There is the Hive indeed. Like, how is Elazer going to deal with these Colossus units? Because, I mean, he has Roaches, Ravagers, Baneling speed now, so he might attempt to make a bunch of Banelings. Kind of as if +2 still lets them one-shot probes, but it doesn't. But two Banes is still enough. 4th base now being deployed here by DNS. Roachling run by meets Zealot run by and cleans it up. Observer keeping tabs on the army of Elazer. 6th base going down as well. And DNS is just kind of holding back, sitting behind his Stasis Wards, cannons, shield batteries, super defensive. You see that his supply is low, but his supply is worth a lot. Like, he has Immortals, Archons, Colossus, and barely any other units. So he just only has high-value units, barely any gateway units. So if DNS can max out with his upgrades here, he has, like, a very unkillable army. This is almost a cheese in a sense, because DNS is kind of doing what you would do in the Supreme late game, which is trade off your units for higher-value units. But instead of contesting map control, like Elazer is doing in the mid-game to early-late game, DNS is just forgoing map control at all. He's just fine and dandy, sitting on his 4 bases, just kind of turtling it up. and surviving until he maxes out on this super... It's not a golden armada, but it's a super effective and efficient army. And Elazer going for some trades here. Rolling in banelings on both sides of the map. Only getting 4 probe kills, so that's not super worth, but Elazer starting to build up that bank, and that's why you see that Elazer reaping the benefits of having like all of this map control, taking a 7th base as well. So even if DNS moves out now, like I think if Elazer takes a fight on DNS's side of the map, he can remax potentially, and then he should be fine. He can kill this army with 2 armies, even though his army will be less efficient. And he's adding on the Ultralisk Cavern. Ultralisk's pretty good against Colossus. Kind of shitty against the 5 Immortals, though. But they are decent against Archons as well. We see more Templar coming out. Storm as well. Look at this god army, this OP Protoss ball that's coming out of DNS. You should look that up on YouTube, OP Protoss ball. It's a song that came out like 10 years ago. And one of those fan songs about StarCraft. Back when everybody was into it. It's a fun throwback. More 5, 6, 7 cannons at the 4th base. Look at DNS. Still not maxed. I'm making more cannons, brother. I'm chilling. Baneling's going in, getting a lot of kills here. Bada bing, bada boom. 17 probes do go down. And DNS doesn't flinch. She's like, nope. I'm sitting pretty. Adding on a second Stargate and a fleet beacon. So probably going to see a mothership and even carriers if this game goes on even longer. Ooh, gets an Oracle kill with the Corrosive Bile. Sharpshooter Ravager over there. Ooh. And with that distraction here at the 3rd base, Elazer pretending to attack because his Vipers aren't even done yet. Oh, there they are. Never mind. And gets a nice 4th base kill with all of his Zealot or Zerglings. Whoa, all of the Banelings here being cancelled by these Charge Zealot with +2, +3 coming as well. A lot of Banelings. Those Banelings are expensive though, but Elazer is a rich boy. Still has a bank, 86 workers, and this army of DNS doesn't seem to be improving that much. He is maxed though, not even 70 probes, so his army is massive. 130 supply, adding on the mothership, getting +1 air as well, kind of selling a carrier transition. We see Ultralisk speed coming out as well. We already have Kindness plating, so wow, double upgrades into the Ultralisk, and that's why Ultralisks are so expensive. You need 2 upgrades and the Ultralisk Cavern itself, and then the expensive upgrade, or expensive Ultralisks themselves before they are useful. And he doesn't even have Carapace upgrades, so I don't know, he kind of needs a little bit more time. Like, if he loses an Ultralisk army, he might not be able to remax, but if he fights Elazer, he needs to fight right here. He doesn't want to fight at his 4th base, because if he fights at his 4th base, he's just going to die before he remaxes. Now, does he have a decent Viper count? I see 1 Viper. How many Vipers do we have? We have 1 Viper. 1! But we have, like... Okay, we have 8 Archons. We have 4 Colossi, 5 Immortals. I feel like he's just hoping to catch this ball with all of his Banelings from multiple sides and just crash on into it. Nice bank here for Elazer, so if he gets a decent fight and remaxes, he will crush DNS, but if DNS gets a good trade, nothing happens. Actually, Elazer fighting into DNS on his side of the map, on DNS's side of the map, so that's good. Oh, Banelings being stormed from all sides. Banelings just evaporate to storms and Archons. Not the best trade here for Elazer, remaxing on 4 Ultralisks and a bunch of Cracklings. And DNS pulling the trigger. His army is strong. He has the mothership. He has a lot of Archons. He has 4 Colossus unanswered. Now, give up the base. Elazer, run! Oh, and he's morphing all of these units, but DNS knows. DNS knows. And he runs back with... Makes a lot of Banelings here because he needs to get more value pumped into his army. Just making Lings, Banes, Ultralisk. Ultralisk stuck behind range unit. Classic. Oh my god, this doesn't look great. Oh, Slowfield on all the Banelings, the Storm, and the Archons. And DNS just crushes Elazer. Elazer overextending into the third base of DNS. Loses too many units, doesn't trade too well, and suddenly he needs to retreat, but he didn't have like a spine wall or anything else to retreat to. And suddenly DNS is on his throat, which is the area between the natural and the third base. I'm calling it, it's called the throat. And once your opponent is there with their maxed out army, or almost maxed out, you can't remax as a Zerg anymore. DNS takes the first game after just kind of turtling up and killing him. And DNS takes the first game. We're now in game 2 on Hecate, which is the map with these hybrid gold bases. And I'm gonna say it, I'm surprised. I thought Elazer would handily take this match 2-0, but DNS now up 1-0, going for another hatch block here on Elazer. And like, DNS is a good player, but Elazer, I feel like, is just one caliber above, right? He's been at BlizzCon multiple times, and DNS has looked good for a long time, but hasn't quite got to that same level or pedigree, or however we want to say it. But he's impressing, or at least he impressed in the first game, pulling out a double robo build, which is refreshing to see, because all we've been seeing is Stargate into Twilight Forge builds with a decently fast third base. And then we get like 3 Oracle, Blink Stalker pushes, sometimes we see Charge, and then they add on a robo, always in the natural, by the way, and then we go from there. Now, Elazer doing the same thing as he did the first game, just standard opener, has his hatchery at the third base, so not going for that overhatch on 15, where you skip the Overlord, do an extractor trick, get 15 drones, and make a hatchery that is unblockable unless they literally send out a probe before pylon. But Elazer's like, nah, I don't care. You can displace my hatchery. Doesn't rattle me at all. Let's see what DNS pulls out this game. Is he going for another double robo? That would be interesting to see. Like, I feel like that's not meta, but he could be setting the meta here. So I expect Elazer to do exactly the same thing as the first game, because he had a wonderful position. And goes again for the 100 gas into pulling everything out of gas. He wants those minerals, as explained earlier. Just needs that third hatchery ASAP. DNS, did you check? He, again, didn't check. He's not a checker. He's like, nah, I'm playing chess, not checkers, brother. I know that you have a base there. Stargate underway for DNS once again. Adept coming out, Corona boosted. And the first Adept is on the map, but it stayed at home, trying to, like, bait these Lings in. But the Lings didn't go in, so actually the Adept just stayed back. Third Adept underway. Probably just going to plug up this hole. Usually you see a Stalker for that, so maybe he's planning on making more Adepts. Also, I like the mind game. It, of course, saves a little bit of gas. And if you see more than 2 Adepts as a Zerg, you're like, is this Glaives? Is this guy going to be like that 1 in 15 Protoss player that just makes Glaives? He just makes 6 gateways and Glaives and fucking kills me with them. Now, speed almost done. These depths are retreating. DNS on top of his timings. If you don't know anything, 3:30 is about the time speed finishes up in, well, every matchup. Keep that in mind. Third base going down here for DNS soon. So around 4 minutes, decently timed, not super greedy. We've seen earlier in XI, flyby from the Oracle there, gets 2 kills, and does take a bunch of hull damage for it though. Adept's nicely tucked in here to protect the third base, so any amount of Lings can't really cancel this third base anymore. And if they can, then it's so many Zerglings that it's an overcommitment by Zerg. And there's an Oracle. So now any amount of Lings that the Zerg can produce can't kill that third base anymore. That's why we see the Oracles. They keep the Protoss safe from any early Zerg shenaniganry, especially with the Queen Walks being so bad now. Although Queen walks are kind of countered by Stargate if you listen to Lambo. And he's way better at this game, so let's just listen to Lambo. Ooh, another kill by the Oracle there. Now it's very low health, though. We do see 4 drones going down. And now, again, he has these 3 Oracles, and they are just going to gain value across this game. Just so much value with the Stasis wards, the laser beams, and also the Revelation. They can just scout for you. Like, Oracles are just a great utility unit for Protoss, especially in this matchup. 11 drones being cranked out for a laser, so he's really overtaking DNS here in the worker count, getting a 4th base as well, putting his creep forward, kind of alluding that he might want to take this as a 5th base, the hybrid base. But he could always consider taking this one as well. As I've said before, I really like it when people go for double expansions later on in the game, because if one gets sniped, you're just kind of behind on your economy all of a sudden if your main base mines out and you really need it to transfer. Ooh, another Stasis Ward DNS. The Stasis Magician gets a hit onto a bunch of drones here. Messing with the laser here. We see a bunch of links coming out again. +1 for a laser again. Roach warning and end lair again, so it looks like a laser's doing exactly the same thing as he did in the first game. But now he won't throw away all of his units. Maybe. So DNS really kind of looking like he knows what a laser is up to. Because if a laser does this every game, I mean, we've seen it 2 games now, then maybe first game was just a hard counter, the 2 Robo. Now we do see Blink and Forge, double Forge actually, so that's weird. Usually we only see single Forge, so now we see double Forge. That makes me believe that DNS wants to be a little bit more passive again, so willing to absorb the blows that a laser is going to deal out, and then just defend with more efficient units, because he has double ups. Okay, nice move command on the shield battery. They get pushed away because they're not on hold position. And the Oracles are here. The cannon does go down, and here goes DNS again, building those early cannons. Look at that, he's cannon man. He's telling us that he's going to be passive. Like, shield upgrades would maybe even be better to help your building stay alive than if you're so defensive. 2 cannons going down at 7 minutes. This guy's so passive. So what happened here, why the probes got pushed away, is because when you move command onto the shield battery, the probes start hugging. Oh, big fight here. The Zerglings do surround all of the Stalkers. They have +1. Losing a ton of Stalkers here. We do have the Oracle laser beams helping out. And there's finally a shield battery helping DNS stay alive here. We lost like, what, 10 Stalkers there? 10 Stalkers have died so far. So, returning to the shield battery. When you click on it with probes, they hug them. But they're still on move command. They're on follow, basically. And that means they don't take aggro from the Zerglings. So if there's a cannon or a unit or something, the Zerglings need to be manually targeted onto these probes to kill the probes. But moving units have smaller hitboxes than standing still units in StarCraft 2. So if you click your Zerglings on the shield battery multiple times, they become smaller because they're moving, and then they can wiggle in between the probes, and then when they stand still, they expand again, and then they push away the probes. And so if the probes are not on hold position, you can wiggle them away like that. So it's a pretty cool move that a laser did there to get on the shield battery. Ended up not mattering though. Oh, a laser taking down these rocks so that he can assault this 5th base for the rest of the game. This is an annoying choke to deal with. And DNS is aware. He's like, no. I want to keep this choke, brother. Oh, that's a lot of Banelings, and DNS sees it right away. Baneling speed finishing up, so this is an attack timing from a laser. +2, Baneling speed, 17 Banes. He wants to fight. Oh, a lot of Banelings were absorbed by the Stalkers there, but only lost like 1 Stalker. Wow, and we see a Zealot run by coming in, getting 3 kills. And a big Warp Prism warp in with more Charge Zealots. So a laser wants to attack on the left side of the map, but DNS is like pulling away all of his attention into the right side of the map here. And now attacking with Blink Stalkers as well, getting good trades here. Utilizing this Stasis ward here. 2 stasis wards even. 3 stasis wards. Wow, dude, DNS is a fan of these stasis wards. Let's see how he utilizes them. This war prism, though, being very annoying, and that's why this 5th base kind of sussy. Oh, big hit on this stasis ward. So, like, half Elazer's army can't do anything right now. Stalkers and a Colossus. We see single Robo Colossus build here. Ooh. And Elazer actually tried to go onto these Colossus. Oh, we saw Baneling run by here. Gets 12 probes. And we see Charge Zealots on this sussy 5th base again. Like, Elazer has to continuously defend this. I'd rather just see like 3 spores in the main. Don't take this 5th base. Take this as a 5th base. Oh, I like these Colossus with these Stasis wards. Because Colossus have a high range and they do bonus damage to Zerglings. So they can kill, like, low amounts of Zerglings that try to kill or trigger the the Stasis wards. Nice blink bags. Colossus outputting a lot of damage here. And again, no answer to the Colossus. There comes the one Viper ready to yoink. Second yoink. And all the Colossus get killed here. And Elazer just overrunning DNS. 3 cannons in the back, though, but only 6 Stalkers remaining. And Elazer, what? He goes back. He goes back because his main base is filled with Zealots and he needs to defend. 6 Stalkers is enough if Zealots are killing your base and your dudes, and the sussy 5th base does go down. Roachling had to be transported back to the main base to defend. So we do have all of the creep spread here, but nothing to take care of this one War Prism. Double Evo being reconstructed. And Elazer only +2 melee here, and now DNS seems to be in such a nice position on 5 bases, actually out-mining the Zerg. More bases than the Zerg. Another Colossus joins the fight. He's just slowly replenishing that Colossus fight, playing on these Stasis wards so well. DNS, wow, I haven't quite seen a Protoss make these Stasis wards seem so OP, or so difficult to play against. Ooh, nice trigger by Elazer, though, showing us how it's done. And here come more Banelings. We need to see some good Baneling trades. Another Stasis War triggers on a couple Lings. Now we do see the Viper trying to get another pull. We see 10 drones going down here by more Zealot run-bys. Jesus Christ, Elazer now on 60 drones. And he's on Baneling, a couple Ravagers and Roaches. 12 minutes into the game, this guy's making 10 more Roaches. I feel like Elazer's on his last legs. Like, he's hoping the DNS moves out before max. And then he can kill him then. Nice drags here on the Colossi. Gets killed. Oh my god, and the Stasis Ward gets the value in all of the Banelings. Imagine these Banelings going off onto this army. Oh my god, Elazer needed that hit. Needed those hits. Another base going down for DNS, and Elazer rebuilt the Sussy base, but I don't know if that one's gonna go up. Look at these rocks still up, creating that choke point. Dude, DNS is playing this map really well. Like, he has such a clear plan for it. I'm really impressed. And going in with the Stalkers again, now letting the Archons tank. Ooh, Roaches do get us one of them. Another Stasis Ward goes down on a Ling. Nice pull-in from an Archon. Ooh, but here come the Charged Zealots. That's what you want the Banelings for. Now, we only have Roaches left here. It's Stalkers and Archons. But Elazer's floating a little bit. If he makes all of that money into units, he can defend here. Supply dropping low. DNS pushing the issue, perhaps. More Banelings coming in, looking for nice hits on these Zealots. Nice retreat by DNS, retreating all of the Banelings. And now the Zealots rejoin the fight, and there's no Banelings to deal with them. And Zealots do really well against everything that's not Banelings. Only 2 Ravagers in the back. Lings reinforcing. Queens come in. Another Colossus. Elazer on his last legs, and he GG's out, actually. Whilst there's more Zealots in his sussy 5th base, this 5th base is really killing Elazer here. This one War Prism just not letting up DNS. cleans it up 2-0. Super important for this group. Like, if he does well against Hearthstone and the rest of the group, he goes out in second place, just goes on to the playoffs. DNS putting himself in a really nice position, and damn, Elazer needs to do really well in this group now. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this cast. Damn, DNS is good with stasis wards. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.